Welcome to the No Limits podcast with your host, Willy.
Has a mustache. Porn stash.
You got the porn stash.
Back in the business. Yeah, he's getting back in the business.
All right, guys, we're back with another episode. This is No Limits with Willy, episode number 7. Joined by Michael. How do you say your last name correctly?
Lyubimov.
Lyubimov. And special guest surprise, Phil Baroni, the New York badass.
Oh, yeah.
Good to see Phil again, too. How's it going, guys? How y'all doing?
Very well, thank you.
How are y'all coping through all this pandemic bullshit?
Freaking annoying. Pandemic out, yeah.
Yeah.
About time to get back to work, man. They've been dragging it for too long, man. It's like there's no justification for this at this point, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
How are you guys coping? Michael, you're the general manager of Jackson Wink MMA Academy. How are you guys coping as far as keeping the academy going during this shitty time?
Well, we have people that actually live here, you know. So an academy, it's not as full as obviously it used to be. But the people that, live here still kind of train on their own, people coming up with whatever training regimens they can. We don't have any official group classes at the point, but, just people still training is their life. So, people go in the mountains, 2 or 3 people, whatever, hold mitts for each other, small little sparrings, whatever they go out and do, but nothing big really, But
yeah.
UFC still already, so UFC started doing fights, so the guys still need to get ready. So some people that don't live at the gym, they stay home, they train at home or whatever, So
yeah.
I know Phil been working out a lot, trying to stay in shape.
The bag work, the bag, get ready for a bare knuckle boxing fight. So I just made the bag. It's not that bad for me, shadow boxing, the bag, jump rope, run, easy.
Yeah. So you guys are using
further away? Can you hear him from further away?
Yeah, I can hear it. I mean, it could be a little bit louder, but I can ramp up the audio later.
Yeah.
So, Phil, do you have a fight scheduled yet for BKFC, or which league are you fighting under?
BKFC against
Wells.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, the main one is Thiago Alves. He just signed with UFC with Monaco as well.
So I didn't know that. Wow.
Veterans, going to be going at it.
That's exciting. Yeah, I had Chris Lieben on my first real guest episode, and you guys fought in I forgot the league's organization, but there's a lot of bullshit going on with that situation. Did you get paid yet? That's a nightmare, huh?
Yeah, big nightmare.
Yeah, we went into that.
Tell me something about somebody getting.
The guy just got released from prison, so he says he's going to pass.
He was in prison for that issue? No, for
bullshit.
Yeah, so that looks like a mess. Doesn't look like you guys are going to end up getting paid for that, huh?
Oh, no.
Not anytime soon, at least.
Yeah.
The years, right?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. So what's next for you in the BKFC? Are you just going to do one fight at a time, or how does that work?
Yeah. Well, yes. I'm just going to fight the day well. That's my next fight. Just a country fight.
Are you done with MMA?
No, I just I can't. To do that last BKFC fight against Chris Lieben, I was supposed to get a lot of money, so I canceled a couple other fights that I had MMA lined up, 3 back-to-back. Since then, it's been hard to get back in the MMA game. So I'm stick with this bare knuckle right now.
But even though, I
got to win this bare knuckle fight.
Yeah, I think bare knuckle fight. I don't remember the exact contract, but I think they're saying that they can permit you to fight MMA, right? If you wanted to, you just have to check with them as long as you don't have any fights.
Well, that's cool. Yeah.
So they are looking for fights. So Phil is looking to fight and stay active. So the thing is that we have been having a little bit of a hard time finding fights because people, don't really know if he's active or not. But he's been active. He's been active in Thailand. He's been fighting like crazy in Thailand, like almost every weekend and stuff. And he's been training definitely every freaking day. So
Great shape.
Yeah, he's in great shape. So
yeah, it looks incredible.
A lot of those guys that want to make a name for themselves or try to make a name for themselves, they step up. He can definitely headline local shows or even bigger shows.
Oh, definitely.
We want to get him active in the States. So people remember that he's still around.
Yeah, I was fighting a lot in Asia, ONE FC and stuff. So nobody really knew I was active. Nobody watched those fights.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been a fan of yours for a long time, Phil. When I first got real deep into MMA, you were on top of the world, and you were one of the pioneers. So it's exciting to talk to you. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to you coming back and getting back in the spotlight, getting the attention you deserve. What about you, Michael? Walk us through a normal day of operating Jackson Wink. It's got to be crazy. It's the biggest super camp.
Yeah, I mean, even now with the whole pandemic, I mean, my email box is full, man. I'm getting so many inquiries and requests nonstop, from people looking to train here. So, I mean, my day starts usually when I get back in business in a normal way. I get in the morning. I get sometimes a line of people with questions outside my door with things, and we train 2-3 times a day, and I get people nonstop coming in, from all over the world with inquiries and phone calls and Instagram messages and Facebook messages. So I'm always staying, on top of that, answering everyone's questions, talking to pro fighters, amateur fighters, dealing with a lot of whatever issues may arise on daily operations. It's a very big building. We just opened another, I believe, 11 apartments. So we can house about 50, 60 people here. We have dorms. So it's a type of building that never sleeps. It's like nonstop commotion. People arrive. We have doctors.
Always something going on.
There's doctor's office upstairs. So people are a lot of traffic, man. This is a lot of traffic in this gym. That's why it's kind of very unusual right now. Kind of be what is going on? Quieter. Yeah, much quieter. Yeah, man, pretty much just deal with sponsors, with coaches, with athletes, pretty much anything you would think of, that requires someone's attention,
So if an MMA fighter that's relatively known decides to leave another camp, does he go through you first to get affiliated with you guys?
Everyone that joins the team goes through me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big burden.
I have to fight everyone that comes through. I gave Phil a pass. I was like, I like him. I've been playing PS2 back in the day. On PS2, he was in the cover of the game. I was like, I don't want to hurt that guy. So,
Hey, Phil, are you living there? Are you staying at the camp?
Yeah. Until this bare knuckle fight.
Yeah, we're trying to get him going.
Yeah, I just can't. I came from Thailand. The whole pandemic was going on over there, and ended up over here. It's the perfect place to end up.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Great training.
You guys, are y'all working with Dr. Hightower?
Yeah. Upstairs, I see him every day.
So
he's my buddy.
Is he based out of your guys' super camp over there?
Oh, yeah, upstairs, second floor. Yeah, he just walked in like a couple minutes ago.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
You got the whole 9 yards over there.
I have cameras here, I can see everyone wherever, And actually, if I look up upstairs, he has a line of people waiting to see him. Obviously 6 feet apart. So before people would go inside the gym, but now they we have a balcony or some observation deck. So people chairs are separated, So people get seen. He's essential business, He's fixing people up. So he's a doctor.
Yeah.
I have a staff of, I believe they have 10 people there, 10 doctors and support staff that taking care of people. So
that's really incredible.
We have athletes, actors, bodybuilders, whoever flying in just to see Dr. Bo, from all over the world.
So his main office basically is out of your guys' camp?
It's his headquarters, yeah.
Wow. Okay. I didn't realize that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reached out to him recently too to get him on.
Yeah, that's why our injury rate and pull-out rate is pretty much almost non-existent. We had, since all the UFC fights that we had for as long as we've been here for 5 years, we probably had only 1 or 2 guys pull out, because of injuries, legitimate injuries, that they couldn't fix. But everything, the ratio of them fixing people up with problems is pretty high. And I pretty much live up there. I'm a grappler, so I train a lot. So whatever they do works.
Yeah. It looks very satisfying. I watch the videos and I crave it with my neck, man. I grapple too, but I don't have a long career of grappling like you guys do. But my neck is always in pain, and watching those videos how they adjust and pull it, man, that looks so awesome.
Don't stop, man. Keep training, man.
Yep, for sure. And you're a black belt in jiu-jitsu as well, right?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So,
Phil is black belt.
So am I.
He always says I'm black belt in everything.
yeah.
I yet to train with him. I don't know, but I'm like I said, afraid to hurt him, bro. I want to get him to fight safely.
Yeah, they're going to have a grapple match.
I told Phil, like, I mean, we're looking, like I said, like, if anyone's going to listen to it, like, if you want to put it out there, maybe little snippets of this, you know, like a lot of people like to do with podcasts, putting out little, maybe something where Phil is super active, man. Like,
Super good shape, ready to go.
very good shape. We're looking to wrestle, to grapple, if any super matches in grappling, any super matches in wrestling, obviously MMA, boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai. Just if anyone out there looking for a good, solid veteran with a huge name, he's right here.
Oh yeah, you heard that, guys. Phil Baroni's looking for you.
Yeah.
Waiting for a match. Give him a call.
Yeah.
You can tell he's ready to go. He's just about to chew on that seat back there, ready to go. Phil, if you had it your way, man, what would be your next MMA fight, and what league, what promotion?
Well, right now, it'd be bare knuckle against Chris Liebman. That's what I got to be focused on. But
You want a rematch?
Any fight. Any fight. I just dig wells this time, man. Dig wells.
Yeah.
That's what I'm focused on right now. Take him out. And after that, I'll look to fight anybody.
Yeah. What happened in that first fight with you guys? So a lot of people will question you were clinching with him.
I got hit in the back of the head. I don't remember the fight. I don't remember the fight. First the fight, he dropped me, hit me in the back of the head. The referee didn't even count, and I don't remember anything from the fight.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Chris mentioned that.
I don't even remember having the fight. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I sort of felt like, fuck. You know?
Yeah. Damn, wow, that's crazy.
I didn't remember, you know. I thought I got stopped. So I remember talking to the girl I was with in a hotel room, ring girl. She told me what happened. So I had no idea.
Wow, yeah, we need to have a rematch for sure. Has Chris expressed interest in doing a rematch with you?
I don't know. I don't think he cares.
Okay.
I don't think he'll take any fight, you know.
Yeah, you guys are both savages. You'll fight anytime.
Yeah, sure we'll fight.
Modern day barbarians, man. It's awesome. Gladiators. So if you were to go back into MMA, would you have a preference, Bellator or UFC, or?
I like Ryzen. I like everywhere. I like ONE FC. I like fighting Bellator too. I like fighting everywhere.
Yeah.
Fight.
Whoever give you the best offer, huh?
I'd like
the best matchup is.
Yeah, I'd like to get into Russia too, man, because in Russia they pay, man.
I would love to fight in Russia. I was supposed to fight that once before too. Like I said, I had a bunch of fights canceled because the last bad apple fight with Chris Liebman was like 6 months in the making. I had like 3 fights lined up. I had to cancel. Then I've been inactive since then.
Wow.
Right now with pandemic, man, it's like who knows? So we just counting days. So because I mean, how long is it going to take everyone to recover and start, you know, putting everything together?
Yeah.
Because of the airlines and travel restrictions. Like you heard about Brazil, right? They shut down the travel to Brazil completely.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that was recently?
Yep, yesterday Trump announced because it's like apparently the hot spot, you know, right now. So, and you know how many Brazilian fighters out there. So like I said, it's going to take a while for the world to recover. So hopefully we'll have domestic stuff going on.
If I can fight anyway, we have Fight Island, I guess. That'd be the best fight.
Fight Island, yeah.
Fight Island, that would be the best. Fight anyway, that's what
I wish they did like a veteran league, man. Like I don't understand why they don't do that. That'd be so cool, man.
So
yeah, as a fan, I would love that. That would be awesome.
Like, you know, Mark Coleman's of this world, you know, like Phil Baroni, like old school guys that can still make money and fight if they prefer, you know.
Yeah, definitely. If you guys still want to fight, man, I know all the real fans would love to watch it, including myself. Your casual bullshit fans, they don't matter anyway. Who cares about them? What do you guys think of Fight Island?
I hope so. To me, like I said, people say it reminds you of that, like the Kumite, like Bloodsport, somewhere in the island, you know.
A Bruce Lee movie.
Over the world, you know, that'd be cool.
Where do y'all think Fight Island's going to be? It seems like it's going to be somewhere out in south of Florida, between Florida and the.
Did they ever say anything? I don't think they ever mentioned
or something like that. I think I heard it was.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't think it's been announced. I think they're keeping it private.
Only some tropics, right, somewhere, but
yeah.
I mean, the cheaper
Might be
version.
Epstein
probably-
Island, man. They might have taken it over.
Yeah, sure. They can definitely buy many houses.
Yeah. So how do you guys deal with this is something I've always found very interesting about Albuquerque and the Jackson Wink camp is you train in all that crazy terrain, which I'm a big wildlife guy. I love going to look for snakes in my downtime and scorpions and all that kind of shit. So I'd have a hard time training out there, be looking for animals the whole time. How do y'all deal with all those crazy, dangerous animals in your training habitat?
Shit, man. You know what? Actually, literally a month ago, I had a scorpion crawl into my house, and I have a little baby right on the floor. You know, and I got freaked out. I'm like, I have cats, so I heard a cat acting weird and going like, you know. So now look, and there's a scorpion on my floor. I was like, Jesus Christ, you know, I've never seen one. But I became an outdoor guy right now too, man, because of pandemics. Like I ended up buying me like a mountain bike, so I'd be riding 2-3 times a week all the way up in the mountains, seeing all the cool stuff. You know, it's impossible not to fall in love with that area, you know. And it's definitely a lot of wildlife. I mean, I go in there, I carry a pistol because they have bears in there and they have cougars and stuff. So I'm like, you know, that's my only worry. Like, I'm not scared of people per se, because there are people everywhere on those trails, and there's a lot of trails. And there's obviously big, you know, everyone knows about like homeless population and stuff. So you never know who's going to run in somewhere. You know, so, but I'm not scared of people as much as I'm scared of like cougar jumping on me or somewhere from behind.
Yeah.
And, not having enough time to like pull out a pistol or whatever. But I think I can beat the cougar with my jiu-jitsu, but like I'm probably going to hurt. No? Yeah. No. Remember there was a story months ago in Florida or somewhere. The guy was hiking and he encountered a cougar and he choked out the cougar and he was a jiu-jitsu guy. You never heard
that turned out to be a younger cougar than they made it out to be, though. It was kind of small. But yeah, I figured
like this.
Choked the cougar out.
He basically he got attacked by a big domestic cat.
So do you think of the full-size cougar, a man with a good skill set and jiu-jitsu, wrestling, or any type of martial art can beat the cougar?
I don't think it's impossible for sure. I would give you a good chance in the situation. If you had a knife on you, it would be a lot bigger chance of you surviving if you had a knife on you, plus your grappling skills. But it's possible, man. Shit, I used to work as a zookeeper, and we had a cougar that was a very laid back cougar. I could go in there and pet him. His name was Shaka, and I feel like if me and him got into it, if you like somebody like you, strong and fit, and has a good jiu-jitsu, you could get a hold of his neck. You'd have a chance, but you get torn to shit in the process. By just
animal, twice as strong.
The bad thing about him.
Stick a little cat in the toilet. Yeah, fucking right.
Oh, you're right. You know, because I have a Bengal. I have a Bengal, and he's bigger than average cat, right?
Yeah.
So
those are awesome.
The toilet. Put him in the toilet.
But even me, when like trying to hold on to him and like mess with him, it's impossible to hold on to him. He starts scratching and like trying to get away and wiggling and stuff. Yeah, I kind of see that. And probably
you'd have to get your hooks in tight and keep them back legs from scratching the shit.
Ate Holly's cat not a while ago, not too long ago, like a couple months ago. Literally, because Holly said like she knew there's a cougar like somewhere around her house, and then her cat I guess went out of the house, and then she found him like torn to pieces.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bad thing about a cougar is that you won't see them coming. They're so damn elusive. They'll watch you and stalk you before you even know that they're in the area.
If I'm riding on my bike, like they can be like stalking me and going somewhere, like.
Yeah, you're not gonna hear them because you're riding your bike.
And I go like in deep end. And actually, we had this Georgian guy, Roman. He's in UFC now. I signed him. He would disappear in the mountains for days by himself, and he would stay there overnight. And he put out a tent like in the middle of nowhere. He did send me some videos. Like he'll be like in the darkness, and there'll be like eyes somewhere from the bushes, like you know. And then he showed me like it's fast, but like I think it was a cougar actually, kind of like getting to the bush, like a big tail and like. You know, some like wild animal walking. So he was like right there. I mean, it wasn't that surprising.
Yeah, cats in general like to ambush you when you're not paying attention. Like when I worked at the zoo, we had a lot of tigers there, and they only would
Or
pounce
with
you.
that cracker?
Was
that-
there
Did you work out at the Cracker Zoo? You on that show?
Oh, God, no.
Karen Baskin?
Karen Baskin Zoo.
Yeah, I could see
Carol
part of it.
Baskins killed her husband. Yeah, it was a legit zoo. It wasn't Joe Exotic Zoo.
It wasn't on the side of the road.
That would be more fun of these to work for the guy. I'd like to work for him. That'd be funny.
That's a freaking nut job, man. He put a bad rep on all the zoo people. I can't say I was a zookeeper with pride anymore. It's tarnished. But big cats like to pounce for you from the back. It's like their predator mindset is to attack you when you're not looking. If you look at them, they'll perch down more and wait for the right moment. So if you're riding your bike, a cougar's watching you. If you make eye contact with it, it's going to decrease the chances of it coming after you. But if a cougar's hungry enough, it's going to come after you no matter what.
You're making me worried now, man.
I'm sorry, man. Forget everything I said. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I shouldn't be going on.
That's pretty damn cool. That guy was camping out there, though.
Yeah.
Another badass.
There's a lot of them here, man. That's for sure.
Yeah, you guys have probably the most wide variety of talent in a super camp. It's you guys, aka ATT. You guys are been on top for a while now.
4 or 5 major gyms like this in the entire world, that has the type of notoriety. And the thing is that this is by far the oldest gym. The 2 oldest, the most original gyms right now is this and AKA. ATT came in kind of later with like a lot of money and all this and that.
Right.
But we've always been self-sufficient, doing things our own way, without any, any type of backing and stuff.
What did you think of the Ultimate Fighter when they did the camp versus camp, Black Zillions versus ATT? Would you guys be interested in doing something like that?
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, I'd love to. I don't know if they'll ever do it again. It was much more convenient for them because they were literally 30 minutes away from each other.
Right.
And they had that bad blood. We're the biggest one here. There's no one, unless they did some kind of remotely, with like AKA or something. That'd be cool.
Vegas team.
Huh?
Vegas team.
A Vegas team, yeah.
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
They'd have to do something with like uprooting you guys and AKA and bringing you all to Vegas to make it work. That'd be cool though. So Michael, how did you get involved with Jackson Wink? What's your story with that?
I've been in business for a while now. It's like I was working a lot with Russian fighters and the Russian management team, a regional team that brought like Khabib Nurmagomedov to here, Rustam Khabilov, Adlan Amagov, Khabib, Shapovalov Shamalaev, like all Adlan Amagov, like all the top Russian talent that you know of now, like from when it all started, that was the team. And so I'm working with them, and I traveled a lot, been to a lot of different events. And at the point, I came here with some Russian fighters to help them get prepared and stuff. And I always say kind of like ended up at the right place in the right, at the right time, at the right place. Because the gym used to be on the other side of town, it used to be called War Zone. And that's where like they became so big, with John Jones and all the elite level fighters coming out of there, But they outgrew that facility, and on top of that, like the fighters were trying to come to America, and they would have, like, especially from Russia and from other parts of the world, and they had a hard time finding a place to live and things like that, So that's kind of sparked that whole thing about like trying and get a bigger facility with dorm rooms, apartments, making sure fighters stay, and have a place to stay for a month, 2 months, years, or whatever. And then and before, like, people would come in, rent a house, but it was difficult, no car, they have no papers, right? You come with visa, so it was difficult for a lot of foreigners, So, and Coach Wink bought out this building, used to be abandoned building, used to be DA building, So he bought this building out, and then when I came, I was on that side of town, with the fighters, and we just started talking with Coach Wink. He's like, I'm opening this building, and if you can send me more Russian fighters, it would be great, and stuff like that. And at that moment, the team I was working with kind of like wasn't doing as good in the way of like management and everything. So a lot of fighters were going different ways, So, and that's how I'm like, hey, and we started talking with Coach Wink, and he needed a general manager to run the facility. So, and pretty much he liked me. So from the first day, he literally put me in the car. We drove to the new building, started showing me around. I couldn't believe, like, what's happening. He's really considering or whatever. So, and then between my experience in grappling and training with other fighters and traveling and my English and Russian connection, it's like my computer skills. I ran car dealerships before, internet departments, call centers, and stuff like that. So I had a lot of good like business experience for pretty much everything.
Yeah.
So kind of everything I learned over time kind of led me to this. So here I am, So 5 years later, I mean, I put this whole gym together. We came in, it was empty, pretty like surreal, There was a lot of white walls, people didn't know. Before we had like a little space, not as much space for dorms. It was just like he was expecting maybe 15, 16, 20 people at the time to stay here, and I blew it up. So we had to open up more dorm rooms, more apartments. I'm also a web designer by trade, so I run all our websites. I create all the websites, video editing, I do everything. Pretty much, I'm skilled in very different ways, so I can do like on a high level to like on a professional level. So that's how I ended up here, and love for the sport. Like I said, it's not even all about money, but just liking the sport, being part of it. It has been always my dream. Here I am,
Yeah, that's cool, man. How does a general manager of a super camp have a schedule? Like, what are you 24/7, or do you go in at a certain time and leave at a certain time?
Yeah, 24/7, pretty much 24/7. Like, I mean, I get my sleep, but it's I get, especially when the gym is operational to the full capacity. Like once we open back up, it's like fighters arrive sometimes at 2:00 at night. It's like And I get calls and emails at night and messages, and people are like, I look at my phone, some call from India, some call from Russia, some call from some parts of the world they never even heard of.
Yeah.
People, obviously, the MMA is so big, and being there, John Jones trains here, Howard Holmes trains here, Phil Baroni.
It's awesome. Like when the gym is running, there'll be whole camps. Like the whole Mongolian camp came in, the whole team Mongolia, they rented a bunch of rooms and they stayed and you see me eat food and cook in the kitchen, and there'll be another team from another country. It's pretty awesome. It's almost like it's like a mini Thailand where people go away, man, and they train and meet.
Yeah.
There's
in Thailand, and they say it's like the little vacation camp, because there's a lot of things to do. Here's nothing else to do.
Yeah, there's nothing else to
just train.
Yeah, that's a good point. You guys are in the desert.
There's no beach. There's no beach. There's no girls. I mean, a little bit.
College
there's mountains and shit. I mean, I'm not that into mountains. I'm a city guy, so you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Mountains will make you fall in love with them once you go up there. Especially on the top.
Yeah, I'm by the Rocky Mountains right now, north of Denver. I'm from Louisiana, from the swamps, so the mountains are incredible to me. I never get tired of them. I wanted to ask you, I just lost my thought. Jesus, what was really going? My kids are making noise upstairs. Oh, that's what it was. You have kids? Are you married, Michael?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I have kids and stuff. Yes.
Your wife's okay with your schedule and just?
Yeah.
She's a trooper.
Yeah, the business feeds us, man.
Yeah,
sure. That's why I'm here. I'm divorced. Mine was a trooper. She was sick of this fighting shit.
Yeah. You single these days, Phil?
Yeah.
What's it like being a single badass? You on Tinder, or what you doing, man?
All that shit.
On the fighting career?
All that shit.
Tinder's around him.
Yeah, Tinder's around him. Tinder's around him.
Yeah, I talked to John Fitch recently too. He's single and divorced too. He's patrolling the Tinder. Yeah, John Fitch.
You get divorced at the same time. You got divorced at the same time.
Oh, really?
Those women friends, no?
Yeah, dumb bitches.
He told me some stories.
Stupid bitches.
That sucks, man.
Some women will do it.
Fuck them. Get new ones. I don't give a fuck. Just redo it. He's all bitchy about it. I just find a new one. There's a million fishes in the sea.
Just don't get married.
Yeah, just never get married.
Like Hollywood, and you hear this way, like celebrities like married 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, 10 times. Like, what the hell? Like 2-3 times wasn't enough. Just to understand that this shit don't work.
Yeah, at that after my second one, I would be done, man. Fuck that.
Exactly. You know, I'm in my second marriage, but that's about it.
Yeah. You guys both have a good look for Hollywood, man. Y'all do any movie roles or getting any parts? Any interest in that?
Go back to sexy model.
Kill the fly model.
Instagram model and shit.
Look at Instagram posting all the time. Yeah, man, I've done a couple of movies in Albuquerque. As a matter of fact, what's cool about Albuquerque, you know, Netflix put out Albuquerque Studios, you know?
That's what I want to do. That's what I'm here
Yeah.
for. I need to get to fucking movies now.
Yeah.
Movies.
I look like I'm
I've done a movie with Michelle Watterson and Carlos Condit. It's actually on Amazon Prime called Cross Lines. It's kind of cheesy, but
took my fucking
no, it's really funny. They needed like bad Russians, so I was like a bad Russian, you know.
Yeah, you got the whole Russian look for you, man. You make a good bad guy in a Jason Statham movie.
That's what I say. Everyone, I've been told I look like Jason Statham like 50 times. Man. It's like, I said, no, he looks like me.
Yeah, Jason Statham looks like you. Fuck that guy. No, Phil, you have any roles that they coming to you with roles, man? You have a look for it.
Back in the day, I was on Oz and I was on The Sopranos. But I fell out of it. I'd like to get back in.
There's a lot of agencies.
Commentating too. I was a pretty good commentator for a while. And, what happened? Stopped doing it.
Once you're done fighting, Phil, what is your ideal way of retiring, and what do you want to do next after the fight game? Do you have a plan yet?
Fuck no, I'm just cruising. I have no idea.
Cruiser.
I'm just cruising, man.
That's why you're a modern day gladiator, man. It's a rare breed. Much tougher than the average guy. So, what's your relationship with Khabib? You guys are pretty tight, even though it's different camps.
For me, not anymore. You know, we kind of like went separate ways. I knew him for a little bit, you know, and stuff. I have some great moments, but it's like, you know, when sometimes, you know, relationships on the distance don't work in a way, you know. So it's like, it's not like we had a huge relationship, but I had cool experiences with Khabib. But I dealt with a lot of fighters and stuff. But Khabib is amazing, and he's such a superstar right now. He has more followers on Instagram than Donald Trump. He's got like 20 million. I think Trump is like 17 or something, 18.
Wow.
So
Crazy.
Kind of crazy.
I remember when he came when he was nothing. When he first got there.
He came in, he was just a regular Dagestani, you know?
Yeah.
Regular wrestler.
Just fighting.
Cool.
It's a crazy culture out there, man. It's probably one of the craziest cultures you'll find, like, especially in the fight business, like Dagestan, man. It's a land of like straight out warriors, man. That's all they do, and a lot of them came through the camp here too, you know. And but the thing is that the business has become so competitive that there's so many great gyms all over the world because the sport blew up so much, right? And a lot of fighters that came through here, they learned a lot of things that they need, you know, opened up a lot of gyms over there in Chechnya. For, you know, also,
that's where I want to fight. That's where they're trying. I want to fight Chester.
Yeah, they have huge camp over there.
Definitely be good, right?
You know, yeah, it'd be good. Yeah, and then there's camps everywhere now. Like Steel City Boxing blew up right overnight because of Stylebender, right? Israel designed it to. It's like, and we used to get like a lot of Australians and New Zealanders, like nonstop. They would come here, not because that place opened out there. You know, this like it saves them trip, right? But it's a little scary in a way for business-wise. But now we kind of have to produce more of our own talent versus a lot of fighters that is coming in already high level, which a bunch of them are coming in still. But it's like we're focusing also a lot on local growing guys that we've developed from ground zero. You know, we're like literally last year, like probably signed like 10 guys to Bellator. You know, there's so many guys coming up that are just solid and legit, you know, and they live here and train nonstop. And Bellator does his development program for younger guys. So we have a couple guys on that where they try to develop their own guys, you know, versus signing like
ex-UFC guys.
Yeah, ex-UFC guys. So they're focusing a lot on that, you know. Yeah.
So if Winklejohn's going to be doing a week or so coming up, do you manage his schedule for each fighter, or how does he handle his own schedule?
Coach
How does
Wink,
that work?
no, he handles his own, like, because he's so booked. I help him with everything, but for the most part, yeah, he's got his notepad. He's old school, so he's got his notepad. He writes everyone out with like mates and stuff, and he's pretty much gone every weekend, traveling from fight to fight, fight to fight. It's him and Greg, I don't know, man, probably tens of thousands of miles, of traveling.
A lot of frequent 5 miles.
Yeah.
Next to bars.
I mean, if you have to like probably add up, probably Greg and Wink have the most corner jobs they've done out of anyone in MMA.
Yeah, I believe it.
UFC started in 1993. Greg Jackson was already operating out of his small little gym in 1992. So the success of the gym, was coming up simultaneously, with UFC, with the rise of UFC. So it's kind of, yeah.
So do Greg and Michael work together for every fight, or do they kind of just
Not necessary. Majority of big ones, yeah, but not necessary. It's
okay.
because sometimes in the same weekend we have maybe Bellator card and UFC card. Let's say Friday is a Bellator card. They do it a lot, right? UFC is Saturday, so let's say a week would be at the Bellator fight, Greg UFC fight, or vice versa, or could be somewhere international, some other card, somebody fighting in Russia and Italy, whatever. Like, just always traveling, always, but we have other coaches too. We have Coach Joy Villasenor, who actually go forward back in the day. It's kind of interesting. And then other coaches and stuff. So everyone's always in some. There's always fights to get ready for and prepare for. And,
Yeah.
There's always.
Phil, do you have any desire to coach when you're done, or you more rather compete?
He does want to. He's
I
experienced.
coach a little bit.
Man, look at your legs, dude.
Pretty
You
good
like you could kick a tree down.
I'm a good pad holder and I'm a good wrestler coach. For MMA, Good for
Yeah.
Hammer House, right? Black belt.
Hammer House. It's what's crazy about it. That's why I'm like showing, like talking about the longevity of camps. Like if you look at back in the day, the rise of all those camps, like the pet military system, what was the Hammer House? Extreme Couture is still around. What else was there?
The pit.
Lions Den, Team Quest, Lions Den, right? Like a lot of the camps that are no longer here, for whatever one reason or another. So it is a survival type of sport too, man. Like you gotta have to be perfect, to do everything the right way. So, but
Yeah.
fighters is just obviously, because there's so much machismo, as Greg says, So there's a lot of button heads all the time, obviously, and it's obviously a very tough sport. It's a tough business to survive in, especially right now with a lot of the competition.
Which is crazy about this place. It has such a good culture here. Everybody gets along. There's a bunch of different camps and there's a bunch of fighters and everybody's helping each other out and getting along. So it's a lot different. Back when I started UFC 30, back in the day when the Brazilians would be over in this corner of the room and the wrestlers would be over here.
And the funny part is that before I worked here, I traveled to a lot of camps. And I was in ATT, I was in the AKA, but I was in American Top Team. I was in Brazil and stuff like that, and Russian camps and stuff. And I did notice the division, especially based on like Russians there, Brazilians there, Americans there.
Here everyone's pretty much
and every sparring session is like MMA, like a freaking pay-per-view, people duking it out. Here, we're not trying to hurt each other because everyone knows that you have a fight coming up, so people get ready for things, So we try the best we can to, of course, things happen. People don't get along, especially when they have like so many people live together. So, and literally stay in the same rooms and stuff. So I'm very surprised that we don't have as much more of headbutting.
It's along, as I'm saying, it's good culture here. It's very surprising. Like I'd say, like the Jits guys get along with there's people who are just really grapplers, like him. And he's just grapple. And then there are guys that are mainly strikers, but everybody trains together. Everybody's good.
We have a lot of people like to teach by nature, because I think even right now, I go and grapple with, I'm a gi guy. I train a lot in the gi, So I go to this garage because we have 4 big Gracie Barra schools here, which is our extended family. We train a lot with them. Like the heads of the Gracie Barra, like Tusa, for example, like if Roberto Alencar is like It's like 6-time world champion jiu-jitsu, whatever. And they have like an army of grapplers here in town, So we cross-train with them a lot, and a lot of their head coaches, Coach John Jones, Coach Holly Holm, Coach all of us, So, and I got a black belt under that system, and I got it from like Carlos Gracie Jr., the son of the founder of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
So,
wow, that's awesome.
So the fighting spirit and fight. This is like a fighting town. It's like everyone fights here, one way or another.
Yeah, street fights, fights.
Yeah, all that fights, and people love sharing what they learned. Like I'll be hitting the bag, hitting dummy, whatever. Phil come up to me and he showed me like how to hit the hook properly. Like even like the fighters here on their own, more experienced fighters, just learning from these guys. It's just a crazy experience on its own. You know what I'm saying?
Every camp, every region has its own technique. You know what I mean? Every camp has its own. So you're learning from different camps. Everyone's helping everybody. So there's a lot of knowledge going on here.
Yeah, so we try. And of course, every camp has pluses and minuses, and it's understandable, But the fact of the matter is that we're all learning. We're all trying to help each other learn, So grappler help a striker, grappler helper, and so all this. It's like information highway, nonstop exchanging ideas. And like I said, originally have like 3-4 sessions a day, and like you'll come here from 9:30 in the morning till the night. People train nonstop.
Damn.
All walks of life.
Yeah.
With that much talent and people around with experience, you basically have an unlimited amount of resources at that camp.
Even if you take Greg Jackson and Coach Wink away,
yeah.
and then you have guys like this roaming the streets of Jackson Wink, like it's like So like just that alone is just huge, Because Coach Meg and Wink, obviously they coach and travel all the time, but just like Carlos Condit comes in, John Jones looks in, Holly Holm every day, Michelle Watterson, old school fighters, that's still here. Just ask them a question, and they'll show you, they'll teach you, they'll share information with you.
Speaking of Michelle Watterson, is she gonna continue fighting, or?
Of course, why wouldn't she? She won last fight.
Yeah.
She really did. It just Carlos Esparza didn't do nothing at all. So Michelle landed more shots, and the thing is that what sucks is it's hard to win a fight backing up,
Yeah.
So and then she got taken down once, and then she stopped every takedown, and on the breakaway she always landed something if there was a knee to the body or elbows or punches, Yeah. So it wasn't a very exciting fight, of course, but it was a very technical battle. Because one was afraid of Michelle striking, and Michelle was kind of curious, scared, not scared, but cautious about Carlos wrestling. So that's why sometimes it creates this type of fights.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Yeah, she's very entertaining to watch. I hope she
I
continues.
just want to see Phil fight, man. I want to see him crack somebody. I really do.
Who's that?
I just want to see Phil fight really bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to him coming back.
I watched his
limelight.
You watch his highlights. You know what he used to do.
Oh yeah, I've been a fan of Phil for a long time. It's surreal that I'm talking to you guys.
We're media friendly, my friend. Media friendly.
Yeah.
Big or small, it doesn't matter. It don't matter.
Yeah.
Everyone starts somewhere, You never know. Maybe you'll be next Joe Rogan.
Yep, you never know.
I'm
not going anywhere, that's for sure. Even if only 10 people watch.
That's fine. We've done podcasts too. We used to have a podcast here too. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, that would make a good place to do a podcast, man. You got so much shit going on there. Endless amounts of content and guests.
Yeah.
Before we get into the 6 questions, I want to ask you a couple more questions about your fighters there. You got John Jones, which is obviously probably your biggest name. Do you know where he's going next? Is it light heavyweight, or is it still up in the air?
It's up in the air. As you saw in the news, it's like try to get that fight with Ngannou. I guess they're not giving him money, whatever, if he wants, if that's the case. But I personally think it's going to be probably Blachowicz, Jan Blachowicz.
Okay. If he were to take the fight with Izzy, if that ever happens, would that be a catch weight, or would Izzy come up to 205?
Izzy would have to come up. There's no way John's coming down. No way.
Yeah. He's a huge light heavyweight.
Huge or not, he's normal,
Yeah.
He's not that huge per se, because look, John never had problem coming to 205, right? He never never missed weight for a single time. He
That's
always
so
had
crazy.
to make championship weight. So he's big, but he's not like heavyweight big. Like if you would have John Jones next to Alistair Overeem, Andre Arlovski when they were here, it's a big difference, to be honest.
Yeah.
Look at them side by side. Heavyweights like thick, big, like Alistair, right? Or John. Or Andre, any other heavyweight, Anthony Hamilton trained here, whatever. Like there's 265-pound gorillas, like big dudes, thick, small, big heads. Or John is
Big head,
small.
yeah,
John is small in comparison to those heavyweights. Yeah, he walks around 230, but he's like a fit 230, Like he would have to blow up to 240, 250. But then when he fought Ovis and Prue, he was lifting a lot. So he was big, yeah, but kind of sacrificed a little bit of speed. I remember watching that fight, but
But it was his first fight there. I think he would be fine.
He'd be
if it was
fine.
up to me, I'd be like, let's get big, dude. Let's go kill everybody up top. I get him huge. I know what to do. Get big. But I think he'd smash.
Even when he fought Ovis and Prue, was still 205. But he's still big. But his ideal weight is 230, 235. Right?
Yeah. I really think there needs to be a weight class every 10 pounds. Do you guys agree with that?
I agree.
Not a heavyweight, though. 205 to heavyweight is cool. 205 and up is good. I think 225 is bullshit. 205 heavyweight's cool. Then other weight class, maybe you have a couple in there.
You think so?
Yeah.
Why do you say that, Phil?
I would definitely agree between 150 and 170. There needs to be a weight class.
Maybe one there.
Yeah, it's got to be.
I think 205.
I would agree. 180, 155, because it's like, right? They already have it. 125, 135, 145, 155. And then, boom, makes no sense. Make 165, make 175, make 185.
205 is good.
195 and 205.
95 too.
Yeah. There's such a huge gap of talent in that, and that's in that awkward stance between 155, 170, and then.
And I tell you this,
No lightweight class.
You know how many
more lightweight classes?
Yeah.
No, who wants to watch that shit?
baby weight class.
I don't want to watch
55
it.
pounds.
If the girls can be the same weight class as the dudes, I don't want to watch it.
It's like this, man. Like, how many guys I see, they're like in between. It's like, let's say you have a guy, right? He's very, like, if he makes 155, right? He's super small for 155s, right? For example. But then if he goes up to 170, he's then, then he's too small for 170. So, like, people that stuck, like, in between, in the middle, which makes it, like, very, very difficult. And it's hard to win,
Phil, what would be your ideal weight class if they had a?
Maybe 175, 180.
Really?
Yeah, maybe. And prior I fought at 183. 183. I was walking around 198 and I make 183.
Wow. Yeah, I really think there should be the every 10 pounds thing. I think it would make a huge difference, and it would give guys more opportunity to get more titles, more money, more of a following.
Now you can definitely do you can become 2-division champ or even 3-division champ.
Yeah. It wouldn't be that far of a fetch thing to drop down 10 pounds and going south or north with it.
Yeah.
Get more belts, more popularity, and more money. That's what it's all about. Okay, let's do the 6 questions, and I'll ask the question, and then I'll get you, Mike, to answer first, and then Phil, and then we'll go to the next question. Y'all cool with that?
Yeah.
All right, number 1. What's a movie you can watch over and over without getting tired of?
Me, Scarface.
Scarface.
That's a good question. I've had a TV for the last couple of years.
That's my flick, Scarface. And Gladiator. I can name bunch, but there's some select few that are just like never gets old. You know Scarface?
Yeah. All right, good fellas. It's
Goodfellas and Scarface, huh? You talking about the Gladiator with Russell Crowe?
Yeah.
Okay. Because there's a early 90s Gladiator, too, that was a boxing movie. Yeah, it was pretty good, but I think the Russell Crowe movie is a lot better. The Roman movie.
Yeah.
All right, number 2. What's the best practical joke that you played on someone or that has been played on you?
Well, I'm not a jokester per se. I'm more of a serious guy. So my nickname on social media is Mad Russian. People like
Mad Russian.
Self-defense mechanism. Like, don't come too close to me. Too bad. So, but that's not the case. I'm trying to say is I know what jokes. It's hard for me to answer. Like I said,
It's not a jokester.
Yeah,
Serious guy.
Serious
Yeah,
guy.
that's an answer.
Serious Russian guy.
Yeah. People. That's why people actually scared to play jokes on me. They like approach with caution. So I
Yeah,
don't
I
have.
don't blame him.
Even if somebody did prank me or whatever, I don't remember.
I don't know. My gene dudes in the school bus. I saw them play pranks.
Yeah. I'll skip that one because I really don't know.
Pass. All right. How about you, Phil?
I don't know. Wedging kids on the school bus.
All right. Number 3. What's a song that you have to sing along with if you hear it?
That's another one, bro, because I don't
I
fucking sing.
don't
man.
sing it.
You got two hard asses.
Probably I'm too sexy for my shirt.
That'd be him.
Taking it back.
I could see that. Shit, man. Sometimes I do say Biggie, Biggie, Biggie. Can you see?
That one gets stuck in your head easy.
Yeah, I love Biggie, man. Like, I grew up. I came to America when I was a young kid, man. I was 15 years old. I came in by myself, and lived in New York and Brooklyn for about 7 years. So
That's
it was
what we get along. That's what we get along.
and it was during the rise of Biggie Smalls, and they obviously was killed in that time. So everywhere on the street, every party, everywhere you went, there's Biggie Smalls playing. You know? So those, and I still listen to him to this day. So
Yeah, me too. Biggie's some good shit, man.
Something I would sing along to.
Number 4. What is something that really irritates you?
What irritates me? Shit, man.
Being asked stupid questions.
Anything like stupidity of people, man. Like people not having common sense, I guess. You know, there's a lot of things that can irritate you. If from a professional, I mean, if anything, people staying clean when they train. They have to take showers all the time. If anything, they have to stay clean when they train. They have people train 2-3 times a day, don't take a shower, whatever. So really pretty irritating. Some people do, especially younger generation guys, and they don't understand.
Yeah, that's nasty for a jiu-jitsu guy for sure.
We have a lot of showers here, so there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to take a shower. Yeah.
What about you, Phil? What's something that really irritates you?
I hate smelling motherfuckers too.
You guys smell,
I don't like smelling motherfuckers.
because we're such a close combat sport, like when someone smells, bro.
Yeah, it's a disrespect.
Yeah, I don't like when guys have like ringworm or some shit or herpes or something. And they still go messing with it. Yeah, I mean, that's how they spread that shit.
Yeah, that's definitely All right, number 5. What is an item in your home that is special to you for sentimental reasons?
At my home, an item. Anywhere pretty much that's with me, like my black belt in jiu-jitsu. That's the biggest thing ever for me.
Yeah.
And then I have obviously pictures of family members and people that are no longer with us, and family members, obviously.
Yeah.
For everyone, you know. So I was kind of thinking, man, like photo album. Like I'm like, damn, when I'm not here, like, it must not be going through like my Instagram. It's just like that'd be a photo album, right? Like no one takes pictures anymore. But sentimental value outside of family is my black belt. Yeah, it's always there. I look at it and shit, I can't believe I achieved that.
Yeah.
That's I'm sure Phil has shitload of accomplishment. What's yours?
Well, this place upstairs, they have that video game that I'm on the cover of.
Oh,
So that's my best.
Yeah, he has a video cover game of that when he was on UFC.
It's
UFC
up there. It just happened to be up there.
Yeah, it's up there.
It's up there. Yeah.
UFC 2.
And
He was on the cover of the
and the
game.
knockouts too. It's up there.
Yeah.
So those are my possessions here. That's all I have.
He's a simple man. He just wants to fight, man.
That's awesome. Is this your office, Mike?
Yeah.
You got a lot of stuff in there too. What is that in the backdrop over there with the belt around him?
It's Holly Holm.
That's Holly Holm? Okay.
Holly Holm, and I have a Russian hat on her. Russian winter hat.
Got it.
Stays
Oh,
warm.
okay, I can see it now. Okay. Cool.
If one day you want to do like some kind of tour of the gym, you want to record it for you or whatever, I'll do it. We do a lot of tours. You'll be blown away what you'll see here.
Yeah, dude, that'd be awesome. I'd love to do that.
So if you want to set it up, we can definitely do it for you.
Yeah, for sure. I'm down. Last question. Number 6. What accomplishment are you most proud of?
Well, again, I get my black belt. I've won a bunch of tournaments. I have a lot of medals over there. I haven't competed world championship, but I've competed, in my own level. I mean, I'm older, and I started jiu-jitsu when I was like 30 or 31. Just my major accomplishment is just sticking to it and being good at it, Because
Yeah.
obviously I would, if I ever do have hard time with like high world level guys, but I can hold my own with pretty much anyone, And I'm older, I'm 40. But for me, like achieving a black belt and getting it from Carlos Gracie Jr., the son of the
That's
creator.
awesome. Yeah.
Like to me, it was mind-boggling because I was okay with getting it from top level black belt here, whatever. But given that opportunity, I attended the summit. They do like every 2 years. They do Gracie Barra does a summit, and it's the biggest system in the world. They have like thousands of schools, and it was like who's of who was there from top echelon of Gracie Barra, and my knees were buckling, standing in front of like thousands of people, and I had to do like a 2-minute speech. And I was like, I'm not getting their belts and stuff, and they were like crying and shaking. And I had this like grandiose figure of Carlos Gracie standing over me, looking me down like this. And I'm looking at him, just like, like shaking and shit. Because, people looking at you like, fighting is maybe okay because you block everything out, but here you have to like talk and just everyone looking at you and recording and watching you. Like, I know how the guys do it, pro guys, but like, I'm not a public speaker per se, but it was cool.
That's really awesome, man.
Yeah.
I have a lot of respect for that guy as well. I have a picture of him in my my man cave in the other room.
Yeah,
that's some cool shit. What about you, Phil? What's your greatest accomplishment?
I was selling cars. I was selling cars, used cars in New York, and I ran into one of the wrestling coaches, and he got me somehow. He got me eligible, and my greatest honor was probably taking 5th in the nation wrestling my freshman year. Taking 5th because I was selling cars. I was doing shit. I was retired, and then that and being able to wrestle again, that put me on my path to be able to fight. So I was a 17-year-old guy, not doing shit, selling cars and car dealership, back to school. So that was my biggest accomplishment.
Became a legend.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'd say being on UFC 2 game.
Yeah, being on the cover of a video game.
When you have a career like that, and just there's so much.
I fought everything, Pride, UFC. I fought every big event, main events, both.
Yeah, those are big stages. That's a list of proud moments. I just have one. Yes.
Phil, is there any talk of getting you inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame? They don't. You definitely should be. Yeah.
Thanks. I was UFC.
We'll put that a hashtag on this post. Get that going.
Maybe, like I said, maybe like I don't know, like cut up maybe if you can do little clips of Phil talking and things like that, maybe like spread them around a little bit, take and things like that.
For sure. Yeah, I hope push as much as possible, man. I'm excited about your career. What you've done already is impressive as hell, man. Just the fact that you keep going with it is even more impressive. So I look forward to it.
Right now, was better to do. I was married, and I was looking at my friends, and they had fucking fat wives and fucking kids that I couldn't stand. I was disappointed. I was like, "Fuck this! I'm out of here." Got on the plane and went to Thailand and started fighting again.
Crazy part about that's why you see a lot of old school guys still fighting too, like literally almost 50s, right? Like, Dan Henderson's, Tito Ortiz's, and everyone just trying to still fight because the money is here now, because when the guys were coming up,
no money. There was no money.
There was no money coming up. So all these guys that made big names for themselves, right? They weren't getting paid properly. And now that's why guys are staying longer into the sport because, like, I believe, like, further we go, more money guys going to make, so more people will retire earlier. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Look, Alistair Overeem's still fighting, and Andrei Arlovski's still fighting because you have the name recognition. You can still compete to a certain extent. So you want to get paid, obviously, right? Because all the years of work that you put in, you want to capitalize on it, right? But ideally, probably, I would assume the bigger the sport grows, more money guys make. Younger they can retire, take less damage, and not have medical problems and stuff.
Becomes more of a career for them instead of being
so
pioneers.
Important, more of a career and a lifestyle.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important to push. They say, if I just need to get paid more, They're professional athletes. They fill in the stadiums and do the pay-per-view numbers and do all these things. They deserve to get paid. Because I always say we're still in the infancy of the sport,
Mm-hmm.
boxing been here for 100 years, right? And then they got to this point, right? We are like the John Joneses of this world, like the Phil Baronis. They're like the Rocky Marcianos of that time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the Joe Lewises of that time. You know, that everyone talks about now, like when they talk about the big regions of the sport. So this is what the guys that be talked about years from now, 50, 60, 100 years from now, when the guys are going to be making like 50 million in the fight. You know, that would be cool.
Yeah.
But
It's unfortunate it worked out the way it has, man, because you guys like Phil that got people like me hooked on fighting and watching it, made it what it is. They were before the company started making a ton of money and they didn't get to reap the benefits of all that good stuff.
Yeah.
There should be some kind of grandfathered system where you guys get a royalty check almost for being pioneers, because that would be the way to take care of fighters that got it where it is now but are not in the spotlight.
Yeah, some kind of pension or some kind.
Yeah. I wish it would go that way.
I mean, if we keep pushing, it'll come. You know, if
Yeah.
everyone's pushing, it'll come. Like I said, it's an infancy. You know, and it's already got so big when UFC became a global phenomenon, right? It's already so big. So imagine what's going to be like 50 years from now, 60 years from now.
Yeah.
So,
And it's so cool that, like, Phil, you're locked in there as one of the pioneer guys. Like, no matter what happens, you're in history for developing MMA to what it is now. It's such a cool thing.
he's not done yet. He's
Yeah. Did you want to do that? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Just like I said, we just got to find him some opponents because he still has that star power, you know.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
He should be able to capitalize and make money on it for the next 3, 4, 5 years, because he can still fight and he's training, you know. Because I can see him pushing through younger guys and beating up younger guys too. You know, and he can crack too. So
I'd still love that Belfort fight. I don't know why he went up to heavyweight. Like, I would have loved that Belfort fight in UFC. Fight like that, you know. There's a lot of good fights out there.
because power stays with you, you know. Like, look at Mike Tyson doing whatever, but like,
Yeah.
when power stays with you, he can still put out people, you know. So like, who wouldn't want to see Phil Baroni knock somebody out?
Yeah. Power's the last thing to go, man. There's talks of Mike Tyson doing the fight on BKFC as well. Have y'all heard anything about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
The rumors.
it's rumors. I mean,
Shannon Briggs is supposedly on it.
they say they offer him like $20 million, man.
Yeah, I know. I want to fucking raise it after this fight. I was like, how much? I know he's the one that. Wait a minute. I thought you said you only had how much?
Yeah,
We just
that
got a
fight.
successful debut over there, and I think Phil will be back on the map. You know?
Yeah, it would be awesome if that fight comes together and you and Lieben could co-main event that one.
Well, even like the Thiago Alves is a huge fight. Thiago
Yeah,
is a
Thiago as well. That'd be awesome.
huge name. Like it's
I'm excited to see Thiago in there.
Yeah, so that would be a perfect fight to me.
Yeah, that'd be
Right?
great. Did you guys want to do that tour now, or what were you saying?
No, we'll do it later. I can do it now. No,
Okay.
We have to be on my phone.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we can wrap it up, man. That's all I got for you guys. I appreciate y'all taking the time.
For sure, man. Send me when it's ready. Yeah, and then if you can cut up some stuff and do some cool little snippets.
Yeah, we will for sure.
Push them like that.
Awesome. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate you taking the time. Good luck to you, Phil. Can't wait to see what's next, brother.
If you want any fighters, I can set you up with some guys. I don't know if I can do like super big names because you got to go through the managers. But if you're looking to do some other guys, I can set you up with podcast like some other fighters.
Absolutely, man. Any help you can give me, I appreciate it.
Just hit me up later. We'll continue talking. All right.
All right. Thank you, guys. Y'all have a good one.